Welcome back, Shalloners, and welcome Beliebers, and welcome Baldwiners. I think that's what Hailey Baldwin's fandom is called. Because today, we're going to talk about 3 red flags that I saw from Justin Bieber and Hailey Baldwin's wedding. Now, these two, I do love them. Like, I do think they're a cute couple, but girl, you cannot deny they're in a little bit of trouble with their relationship. And I'm going to break down what about their wedding told me so. But first, just want to remind you guys, if you want to talk to me one-on-one about love, about life, about family, about friends, find me on my website, shallonlester.com, and click Get Help to submit a question. Also, follow me on Instagram at ShallonXO, where I let you weigh in on the next video topic and vote. And also listen to my podcast, Girl on Top, out every place podcasts are found every Wednesday. So Justin and Hailey got married, I think a year ago. Is it a year? Yeah. Yes. In a courthouse ceremony in New York City. And I heard that the reason was because she was pregnant. And then, so, they're both very religious. Okay. And then, so they got married, but then she had a miscarriage, which is a bummer. That's a bummer when that happens. That's really tough. But it happens to a lot of women. A third of women miscarry their very first pregnancy. And she's so young, it probably was her first. So she's going to go on to have a lot of beautiful babies. Everything's fine. But they started a marriage under, not false pretenses, but kind of under duress. That might not have been when they would have organically decided to get married. But so far, they're sticking it out. I've done a lot of videos about these two and the red flags that I've seen in their relationship, from their strange Vogue interview to how much they fight. And I've talked about how much fighting is normal in a relationship. How hard do you need to work to make it work? So there's a whole playlist on them. Check it out. But today, we're going to talk about not their first wedding at the courthouse. We're going to talk about their big blowout wedding extravaganza in South Carolina. So there were 3 big red flags that I noticed. And first, let me say, I like Justin and Hailey. I think they're cute. You know that I love Justin. He is our patron saint here at the channel. And I know I had said that he's lived his last fuckable day in real life. And he has that House of Drew line that he just keeps trying to make happen. Is it happening? Do you think that this is actually happening? I still don't believe that Yeezy clothes are really a thing. Maybe the shoes, but I have never met anyone ever. And I live in New York City, and I'm in the circles where people would be wearing Yeezy. No. And I've never seen somebody wearing House of Drew, because it's at best it's basic, and at worst it's very ugly. So, and of course, that's part of the swag he gave out at the wedding. It's not a gift if it's your own merch. It just isn't. I remember my friend used to be on Saturday Night Live, and I went one time when Miley Cyrus was hosting, and every celebrity host, I'm sorry, this is a whole tangent. Every celebrity host brings a gift for the cast. If you spend the whole week together, they become it's like summer camp, And Taylor Swift brought in beautiful candles and something else. And Miley Cyrus gifted everyone with her new CD. Who in the hell even has a device on which to play a CD? Why not just bring, if she had brought an actual vinyl record, more people have record players now than they do CD players. I don't have a device in my house to play a CD or even a DVD. But it's that's not a gift. It's promotion. Anyway, so I think it's chintzy and stupid that that's what he gave out to his friends. Oh, you're welcome. They're it's not Supreme. Nobody cares. This isn't Kith or Ventima. But I do like them together. And I've talked before about their dynamic. I think they are extremely codependent. What is codependency, right? It's a term that we hear, and I've only recently started to investigate it because I realize I have a tendency to be like this. Codependency basically means you have 2 people whose issues fit like crazy. And you're probably thinking, well, it's a good thing. You want people who are compatible. That doesn't mean compatible implies a healthy undertone. Codependent, it's more of a toxic dynamic. Now, the classic codependent relationship is someone who's an alcoholic or a drug addict, and they're victim enabler, the coked out stockbroker husband and his long-suffering victim wife who's just cleaning up all his messes all the time. And I think with Justin and Hailey, they're codependent because her family model, her family structure is her dad is an alcoholic and her mom was the rock. They've been together for like 30 some odd years. And it's funny, it's like a lot of people look at that, it's like, wow, they made it. I look at that, I'm like, that is sad as fuck. That's sad. That poor woman stuck by this chaos machine of a man instead of like, I don't know, maybe meeting someone she would have been happier with. I don't think that's a huge win. I think that's kind of sad. Sticking it out, like why? Why? When maybe you're better off with somebody else. Maybe he's better off not with anybody and getting his life together. So her dad, whichever Baldwin it is, Billy, Kevin, I have no idea. Like he's like a born again Christian and sober. I mean, can you imagine being stuck in an elevator with this person? Just add in like, I don't know, veganism, CrossFit. And so that's what she knows. A chaotic man and a very stable woman. And what kind of marriage does she have? A chaotic man. I have also heard that Justin is back on drugs, grilled cheese sandwiches. He's back on grilled cheese sandwiches, which he had a big problem with a few years ago. And, you know, at the end of the day, like he's a grown man. People can change. I don't know if he's ever been to rehab. I don't think he has. He like healed himself through Jesus. Okay, cool. I hope that works. And Hailey is just sticking by him like that's normal to her, right? So here are some of the red flags. First and foremost, they changed the date of this wedding like 5 different times. They send out like 5 or 6 different save the dates. And if you guys have been through like what I call the wedding machine, you know someone, you've been close to someone who gets married, like you don't just change the, that's the whole reason you send out the save the dates. You save it, people put it in their calendar, and you have to consider who they're sending these to. Kendall Jenner's, Irina Shayk, like, I guess she wasn't invited, but like very busy people, powerful people, people who aren't just like, oh, I have nothing. People who have their schedules booked a year in advance. They're on tour. It's Milan Fashion Week. They're opening a new store. They're doing a new whatever. People who can't freestyle their schedule. I can't even do that. And who even am I? I mean, I'm your queen and your savior. But like, aside from that, I'm a busy bitch. So that to me smacks of disrespect. And it smacks of this us-centric viewpoint that like we are the fixed point in the universe and everything just orbits around us, you know? And that I think is, I don't believe how do I say this? 2 selfish people can love each other, but they don't create a solid relationship. Do you know what I mean? And I don't think Hailey's selfish. I assume that this was Justin. And I think it's also just, they're juveniles. They don't have a basic respect for other people's like schedules, maybe because they're too young. But you know what? What is he, like 26? He ain't too young. He ain't too young at all. It's 24, something like that. She's 22. You know what? I take that back. They have grown-up jobs. They have to have grown-up respect for other people with grown-up jobs. And they don't. So you're starting off, you're just kind of like 2 like disrespectful people. And if you're disrespectful to the world at large, at some point you're going to be disrespectful to each other, right? If you don't respect the time, the money, the prioritization of your friends and your loved ones on like the macro scale with like all of your wedding guests, are you going to appreciate each other on the micro scale? Are you going to bring that dynamic into your very marriage? Possible. Number 2. Do you know what like one of my favorite movies is? Godzilla with like Aaron Taylor Johnson. I love that movie. I love it. Another one is The A-Team with Bradley Cooper. I love it. Do you know what movie I literally couldn't get through? I walked out. The Notebook. I hate The Notebook. I was writhing in my seat. I was like, let me out. And I love a good schmaltzy romance. I have the Hallmark movie channel on right now in the background as we speak. And The Notebook was just, it was ghastly. It was ghastly. And guess what movie Justin and Hailey showed at like their rehearsal dinner, their welcome dinner? The Notebook. In fact, that's why they had their wedding in South Carolina. They had it like in the town that The Notebook was supposed to be in. They had a Notebook themed wedding. My God. If you ever think that you're basic, if you ever do, I want you to pause and go, well, I didn't have a Notebook themed wedding. Did I? It's like a, my God, what's next? Like a Grey's Anatomy themed wedding? The reason this rubs me so the wrong way is because it's basic, but also it's very juvenile. It's very juvenile. And I hated The Notebook because it gave all these women the impression that love is supposed to be really hard. No, it's supposed to be. That time when he like wasn't speaking to me, like ghosted me for 3 months. No, it's like The Notebook. It's like, he's probably writing me letters and I wasn't getting them. It's like The Notebook. No, girl, he was off fucking a bunch of girls. He was on Tinder, he was on Bumble. He is not Allie and Ryan, whoever, whatever their names were. That's not what was happening. But these kind of stories, a movie has a natural arc. There's ups and downs. There's the plot. There's a crisis. That should not mirror your own life. No. And it gave girls this false sense of normalcy and what normal is, and the lengths a man will go to right the ship. I mean, it's just, and so that to me speaks volumes about their relationship, that she has normalized their turbulence to such a degree that she planned her entire wedding around that theme. The theme of her wedding was love is difficult. That's not good. That's not good. And their wedding looked beautiful. Let's look at some photos. We'll look at some photos. Like they had like that very same basic photo booth that like all the Kardashians have, which honestly I kind of want because everybody's skin just looks so good. No one has a pore or a wrinkle. It's all just like jaw lines and beautiful noses. She looked beautiful. Her dress I'm sure was beautiful. Like she's got good taste. I'm not a fan of the low bun, right? I think that for like a wedding look, it's like, oh, did you just leave Pilates and like wander into your wedding? Or like what's going on here? Get some extensions. You have the best hairstylist in the world there. And I think the outfits that some of the other girls chose were interesting. Now, I just put up a video on Kylie and Travis and their break/breakup. And Kylie was actually at the wedding alone. Kris Jenner was there and like Kylie brought Stormy. I'm sorry, can we talk about the person who brings a baby to a wedding? Can we talk about people who bring a baby anywhere? Brooklyn is like overrun with people who don't understand that being a parent means you have to sit your ass at home. Not all the time, but like if you want to go out to a bar, great, come on out, get a shot, get a drink. Please don't bring your infant. Please don't bring your infant. Or worse, your toddler child that I, a person in a bar, am not looking out for. I straight up hip checked this like 4-year-old the other day at a brewery and the dad yelled at me. I'm like, we're at an alcohol establishment. Why is I'm not looking low. I'm looking high for hot dudes, not low for the short ones, including your sticky son. No thanks. We're getting off topic. Number 3. So this picture of Justin and Hailey, this is like the photo they put on Instagram. This is their encapsulation of their wedding. Justin with a grill on his teeth. Why does this bother me so much? Why does this bother me more than The Notebook? And almost nothing bothers me more than The Notebook. Because like I said, it's juvenile. You have these two, like, did you ever see the tweet where someone tweeted a picture of like Justin Bieber recently, like recent Bieber, like with the tattoos and the shaved head? And they're like, have you ever seen a more beautiful human? And someone retweeted and they're like, you could go to literally any gas station in Florida and find this man. I was like, true. And it's like, if you boil down Justin and Hailey, you have Hailey, this very basic homeschool dreamer who's like, oh, The Notebook, life's a fairy tale. And you have Justin who's trashy as fuck. It's like, you really can go to a gas station and find this combination of people. Because yeah, that's the thing with The Notebook. It's this fairy tale. It's like, love is a happy ending. And when you're together, it's happily ever after. And then you have no more problems. I'm a bride, I'm a wife. Ah. Girl, it doesn't work like that. So the grill tells me, the grill is like leftover bad Justin, you know? First of all, grills are the kind of thing that guys do that I don't think they understand how deeply unattractive they are. At the very least, they're lame. They're like incredibly, corrosively uncool. Just, ugh. It's the way that girls obsess over like Audrey Hepburn. And if you ask any man on planet Earth, they're like, who the hell is Audrey Hepburn? And goes like, I have a pixie cut. I'm so Audrey. And you're like, who is that? Guys are like that. They're like, oh, I got a grill. I'm hard. It's like, you look ridiculous. You look gross. Kind of like Frankenstein, but not even as interesting. And so the fact that he's like, no, I have to take my grill to my wedding. Have you grown up, Justin? Have you? You're still doing these things, these leftovers from your drug-addled, very recent past. And you're dragging it into what should be a fresh start in your life. He's also bringing friends from that bad time into his life. You know who was at his wedding? Lil Za. I've never heard a less melodic, natural, easy to say name. Lil Za. Lil Za was that like rapper. What are your songs? So curious. That Justin was like friends with in his drug heyday and paid to like take the fall for him on like all of these things that he was doing. And like, I think Lil Za like went to prison for a lot. He was at the very least arrested. I think Justin like paid to make the whole thing go away. But like, so you're bringing people from your bad past and literal items from that time into this new fresh start. This doesn't bode well. This just doesn't bode well. And also, these two obsessed about this wedding for a long time. Hailey, apparently, like I said, they switched the save the date, they switched the venue, blah, 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 they switched it. I have this theory that the more obsessed you are with your wedding, the less obsessed you are with your husband. Because girls are like, I'm a bride, it's my special day, I am the bride. Okay, well, who's that guy? Who's that guy next to you? Your husband. Like, what's his deal? It's like, I don't know. It's my day. I'm the bride. Like, I think so many of us have been conditioned by society to think that, like, being a bride, it's the most special time. You're the most, this is when you're seen. This is when you're special. And for some people, it is the most, like, glamorous you're going to be. My wedding day was beautiful and glamorous, but it certainly wasn't, like, the best day of my life. Does that make sense? The best day of my life was, like, probably, like, a year prior when my husband and I were just, like, we were in Irvine and we went to the Spectrum and we went to See's Candy and Corona Del Mar and went to the beach, and like that's like those simple quiet days, not the ostentatious glamorous days. And I have a whole sunscape for my wedding. It's Diptyque Bay Candle. Like, it's things that are, it's so much more quiet and private and intimate. I don't know, maybe that's just me. So the fact that Hailey was so focused on this wedding, I think, it's a bit of a red flag. Now, more details are probably going to come out. I'm recording this before like they've issued their like official recap, official statement, whatever it is they're going to do. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of praying, very holy. Like the whole Hillsong crew was there. Daniel Caesar did the music. He's fine. I don't get the hype, but okay. And it's like, oh, there was a send off with candles. I bet like on the bayou water, you know, or like those little lanterns that floated away. I bet there was something like that. Tributes to grandparents. I'm sure it was fine. I'm sure it was pretty. I'm sure it was basic. And doesn't that really sum him up? Look how hot he used to be. And now you belong to someone else. If only I'd gotten you then. Sad. Shawn Mendes, that means I'm coming for you. I want to know your guys' thoughts on Justin and Hailey's wedding. Do you see the red flags that I see? Do you see other additional ones? Let me know. I'll do a whole other video. I will talk about JB and HB until the end of time. And like I said, if you have a love question of your own and want to talk to me privately, go to shallonlester.com and click Get Help, and follow me on Instagram at ShallonXO and listen to my podcast, Girl on Top.